Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be playing with my Dragonfly texture sheet and my heart cutters. I got these both from Create Along in one of the Create Along monthly boxes, and I haven't gotten a chance to play with it for myself, so I want to try a new idea out and see if it works. So first I have my Pearl X powder here. This is the blue. I'm going to put my clay off to the side. I do have that rolled out to my third thickest setting. And then I am going to fill in my little areas here with my Pearl X. And I'm just going to get right into those little dragonflies. And I'm not going to do the whole sheet because I'm only going to make one pair of earrings. So I just want to get into the main areas that I'm going to use. So that's about how much I will be doing. Let me actually kind of mark this off, and then that way I know where I need to start and stop. I have not done this technique yet, but I really hope it works like the silicone would. So we will find out. And the reason I am not putting this on my clay is because I only want my dragonflies to be kind of like glowing. So you'll be the first ones to see it along with me if it works. So my next step is to get my baby wipe. And clean off the top. Get the top really nice and clean if you can. But leave that powder inside the dragonflies if we can. All right. Now I'm going to place my clay on top, press, and then I'm going to flip it and roll. And hopefully we will get a beautiful, and it didn't go in deep enough. Let's try this again. Okay, let's try pushing that in there before we flip it. Get that in there. Push that in. All right, let's see. Look how gorgeous. Is that not beautiful? Oh, I'm so happy that worked. I wasn't sure if it was going to. They came out fabulous. I'm going to get as many of these dragonflies as I possibly can. That is so pretty. I love that. I think that came out fabulous. And let me see if we could add a couple of these. I love these yellow stones. So I'm curious to see what this would look like on here if I put some on. I don't know if it would be too much though. No, I don't like it. Don't like it. There we go. Nope, yellow won't work. Too big. Let's go with some small. I love little mini stones on things because it just brings that little extra sparkle. Basically, I just want to fill up some of this empty space here with some gems to give it that little extra sparkle. Oops. These are all heat seal gems, so they will glue themselves to the piece afterwards, like after it's baked or during the time that it's getting baked. And look how beautiful. Does that not look really nice? How quick and easy is that? I mean, super quick and easy. I'm so glad that that worked out. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to, but I'm super happy that it did. So now I'm going to bake these at 275 for a half hour. Because I am using Primo clay. I am going to put them on a sheet of paper. This way, I'm going to put them on a sheet of paper. This way the backs don't get shiny, because I want to keep the backs. You know what? I will do that. I'm going to put some of the powder on the back to keep it really pretty and blue, like the front. So now I just got to be very careful not to get any on the actual front. So I want to kind of keep it in my hand steady if possible. So if you didn't even want to add the gems, it'll even go really like super fast for you. I'm just always kind of about shininess and bling, kind of things like that, my statement pieces. So I'm going to wipe my hand off so I don't get anything on the front. Just kind of cup it a bit so it doesn't really move. There we go. Beautiful. Let me see. Did I get that one really well? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to press that down just slightly. Make sure everything's flat. And the last thing I want to do is decide how am I going to hang these so I know where to put my holes. And I think I naturally just want to put them up here, but I kind of have my gems there already. So I'm going to go slightly off. Maybe I should just move my gems. I think I'm going to move the gem because that is the more ideal place for my hole to be. So I'm going to get rid of that little gem. And I'll put my hole right there. I'll get rid of this little gem. And I'll put my hole right there. And now 275, a half hour, and then we will come back. While those are in the oven, I want to show you why I filled this texture mat. With this particular powder, it's not like mica powder. It's thick. So when I get it on my finger, all right, so that's the thin amount. And I have, say, all these little dragonflies. I want to show you. When I go over, it doesn't just stay on the dragonfly. You see all those little areas? I'm going to show you. Let me go here. I'm going to roll this out really quick. And I want to show you why. Because a lot of people I know will go, well, why didn't you just rub it over with your finger? Because that's a natural reaction. But I'm going to show you exactly why I did not do that. Okay. So I'm going to use this section because it doesn't have any powder in it. I'm going to push down real hard on it. I'm going to do the same exact thing. So I have all that section right there. And my finger's clean. So let me get this powder. And then I'm just going to go over. And this is how I would normally do all my stuff. But you see all those little areas that I'm hitting with my finger, even though I'm not trying? That is why. By filling this in, I actually only got my dragonflies. I didn't get the inside. I wanted the inside to stay black. And to use a wipey and get in there, that's never going to work. It's just going to smear it. You can't take it off. So that's why I filled in the texture mat, just to let you guys know that it wasn't a what am I trying to say? It wasn't a pointless effort to try to fill that when I could have just rubbed my finger over it, because that was my first thought was, well, I could just rub my finger over it. No, I couldn't, because that particular powder that I absolutely love, unfortunately, is not like regular mica powder. It's more powder. So it spreads differently than the mica powder does. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And as soon as my stuff is done in the oven, I'll pop on and we'll finish our earrings up. My pieces are out of the oven. They look fabulous. I'm super excited about them. And what I am going to do next to finish them is put my bright tone on. This stuff is fabulous for clay. But let me show you up close. Look how beautiful that looks. And then the back. So I'm just going to put a small coat on here. This will protect all your powders. I did do a quick sand. So I sanded all my sides down with a nail file. You don't have to go crazy with it or anything like that. I'll let this completely dry, and then I'm going to do the backs. All right, so that dries pretty quick. So I'm not going to rinse my brush out. But while that is going, we're going to start on a second project, because I want to do two different things. This also came in the Create Along box, and I'm also going to be using these particular cutters. This mat is so adorable. I absolutely love it. So what I want to do is just press it onto my clay. So this is rolled out to my third thickest setting as well. And I really want to show you guys that these little tiny mats, they seem small, but you could do so many things with them. And I'm going to show you how to do a pair of earrings with them. You could do a pendant. You could do an earring with the whole thing. You could separate it. There's so many things you could do. I'm going to separate them. So I'm going to match up my pieces right in the middle. So right in the middle of that flower, I'm going to press down. And clay under my nail. Do the same thing on this side. Can you see that? It's beautiful. But to really bring those colors out, I am going to use my metallic rub on with the silver. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand or on my finger. And then I'm lightly going to just go over, and that's going to pull all those details out. And don't press hard, because if you press hard, you have the chance of mushing your clay, and you also have the chance of going outside your lines. So like right there, I just want it slightly out. So I want to kind of like rub that off. I want to just have my dragonflies only and my flower. I wipe my fingers off. I missed a little area right there. Of course. Of course. There we go. All right. So now that's outlined. The next thing I want to use is my blue and purple mica powders. For this particular one, I'm going to want a kind of like a sharper tip so I could get into all these little areas. And I'm going to line them up like this. This way I could kind of go back and forth and keep them somewhat matching. And I'm going to work a little bit more careful and just go right around these areas. These mica powders from Create Along are fabulous. I gotta tell you, without a doubt, they are honestly my favorite mica powders. I have a ton of them from Amazon, and I hardly ever use them because these are always my go-to. And they last so long that I feel like I don't even need to use the 50 million that I actually have. Okay, so we got our red, and then we have our green. So let me lift this up. I'm going to turn this facing this way because now I want to focus on, oops, it is kind of, there we go. Now I want to focus on my flowers here. And that's where I'm going to use my orange. And then I'm going to take my microfiber towel and I'm going to just rub it on here to get that powder off. And then I'll go right in with the orange. And don't worry if you're going over the silver, we could redo the silver again. Okay, lastly, I'm going to add my red on the wings and some green. I'm going to use my microfiber cloth again, get all that off. We're going to do the green first and then the red because the green is much lighter. And I'm just going to do the tips here. And then let's add our red. Be a little careful with the red because you don't want it spilling over onto other things. So we have two beautiful pieces here. I'm going to blow on them to get all the extra off. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to brush right over everything. And it'll do like a beautiful blend. It'll just blend your colors and make sure nothing is kind of lumpy over there. So I could still see my silver that I did. So I could leave it like that and just bake it, or I could put another coat of silver over it. And I think I'm gonna do one more coat of silver. And then I think the backs, we'll do purple. So let me just go over it just one more time, just to kind of highlight it just a bit. I love this stamp. This stamp is so pretty. All her little stamps have been really fun to play with. I did a sun, goodness, what did I all do? Let's see here. I did the hummingbirds. I have not played with this one yet, or this one. I did the sun, now the dragonfly. She's been having like a lot of really cool ones lately. So I want to start bringing some of these little mini mats into my creations to really show you how fun they are, because Kira really does design some really cool stuff. So if you haven't looked at her stuff yet, you should definitely check her out. They're really neat. All right, lastly, we are going to put the purple on the back. Carefully lift. I'm going to kind of cup it a little bit in hopes that I don't move it around too much, because I don't want all that purple right on the front. And then I'm gonna bake it on the same piece of paper. Let me wipe my hands. All right, and then I will bake that one as well. So I'll put those in my oven, 275, half hour, like the last ones. Oh, I got to put my little hole in there, so let me do that quick. So back to these earrings. The last thing I want to do with these is put my chrome marker on them. And I'm going to edge them. And this will just give them a beautiful finished look. I'm going to take this and just go and edge the very tips of the top, just to make it look like it's surrounded in a little bit of metal. So you don't have to do it a lot, just do the very, very tips. And just get that little tip right there. I love edging my pieces. I think it just always looks so beautiful when you edge them. I mean, look how nice that looks. All right, so I will let those completely dry. And then we'll put our jump rings on and our fish hooks. And then those earrings will be completely done. So I ended up jumping ahead. My pieces came out of the oven. I ended up putting that bright tone matte on there. But look how gorgeous. Is that not beautiful? These are my favorite. The purple looks beautiful on the back side. But how fun are these? I love this technique. So you make sure that when you're using certain powders, you don't get the inside, you know, full of the powder. And I love this technique, using all the different mica powders together. They're just both really fun, quick techniques that you could slap out a bunch of them at once. So the next thing we want to do is just open up our jump rings. Oops. We will put them in. Let me open it up a little bit more. That would help. Oh, it was clay there. That's what was stopping it. Put our finding on and then close. And a piece of clay in the back of there. That's what was stopping it. And there we go. I love that she gives us mirrored cutters. They're just beautiful. Look how gorgeous those are. These are actually my new favorite. I love those. And that's it. We have 2 pairs of gorgeous earrings that were simple and easy, did not take overly too long to do. And they're going to be great sellers or great gifts or whatever you do, or even if you just want to wear them yourselves. I'm keeping this pair definitely for myself. I'll probably actually keep both pairs because I really like the Dragonflies just being blue. And then these little diamonds, faux diamonds, they look like little stars. So it's almost like the Dragonflies are flying at nighttime. I really do like them both, but I hope you enjoyed creating these pieces with me. If you did, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, and I will see you all next time. Bye.